What's going on, people? It's your man the YB back once again. So, Anthony Joshua, we've got another leak here. Ain't no one seen this one before. AJ airing out Tyson scary. He says, "Listen, I'll fight Fury in his back garden. Yeah, unlike John Fury, I'll actually fight Tyson on the cobbles. John Fury has never had a fight on the cobbles. Fact. There's not one lick of evidence. Neither of them, or the whole line. Tommy never did nothing." Tommy don't even fight in the ring. Truth be known, he never mind the cobbles. We know that, people. We all see Tommy when the ish hits the fan. Yeah, Tommy in the back somewhere. He's like this, biting his lip. Yeah, when Ngannou was sticking it all over Tyson and his family, Ngannou said, "Listen, if it weren't for law enforcement, there'd be 4 bodies rolled up right now in this crowd, and you know it." Tommy was there like thinking away how he could politic as well at the situation. But anyway, I've digressed. Listen, people. John Fury never had a fight on the cobbles. Tyson never had a fight on the cobbles. Tommy Fury damn sure ain't never had a fight on the cobbles. AJ, he won it. Anyway, let's get to the bars. Here we go.
Both of those fighters.
I do.
Ultimately, though, if you ended up fighting Tyson, if that were to happen, hypothetically, would you want that to be out here, or that's kind of a bit of a battle of Britain, isn't it, AJ? Would you want that on home soil?
I'll fight him in his back garden. It don't matter to me. I'm a fighting man, you know what I'm saying? Wherever, whenever, however, it don't matter. As long as we deliver for the fans, that's the main thing.
You're not, but I think, was it a change of training? You've done something that appears like you've come back.
So we heard the bars there from AJ, and the truth is, people, listen, I haven't always seen eye to eye with the way AJ's conducted himself, but one thing I've always given credit for is he does want to fight the best. He's been trying to fight the best even before he fell off. In fact, some people argue part of the reason he fell off, yeah, in the weeks or days before, I think even, it may have been literally the days before Ruiz won, yeah, AJ was there begging Wilder and begging Fury to fight. And Wilder and Fury were like little girls on Twitter saying, "Oh, we're going to fight each other, and yeah, and we're going to mug AJ off." And that's the bottom line. He's been trying to make these fights. He's never ducked no one. He's never ducked a mandatory. He's never ducked a belt. Yeah. Unlike Carrot Top, look at Canelo, for example. People rate Canelo. I don't. Canelo don't have what AJ has. Yeah? Canelo in there politicking. Benavidez on his ass. I think Canelo wins that fight as well. But Carrot Top, I'm not going to fight him. Benavidez has been mandatory for 2 years. How many mandatories did AJ ever have for 2 years? Not one. He had 3 belts for a long period of time. 4 or 5 years he had, until Usyk he had 3 belts. Never once did you hear of someone being interim champion or mandatory challenger for 2 years and AJ political. In fact, AJ was going out of his way to unify the belts. Fact. People was rightfully so saying, "AJ, don't fight you." I didn't see it myself, obviously. I lost money on it, but I didn't see AJ having a problem with Usyk, but many other people did. The boxing, people who know boxing, allegedly knew that he was going to get smoked. AJ took that fight without a second thought. Nothing political about the Usyk situation. Usyk wasn't sitting there for 2 years, no. AJ had 3 belts, he had all the clout. He could have easily said, "You know what?" And I think even at the time I was saying, "You know what? AJ's done enough. He don't need to fight Usyk." At that point, and almost to this day, well, not to this day. Now, obviously, Usyk's a proven heavyweight. But at that point, I didn't believe having a draw/losing to Chisora was enough to get you a shot at the unified champion. I wanted to see Usyk do more. Obviously, the rules say, well, I think it's WBO, well, if you're a champion in the weight below, you get a mandatory shot at the weight above, which I get to some extent. It makes boxing more interesting. But still, I wasn't too impressed with Usyk. If AJ had said, "You know what, I'm dropping this belt, I don't believe in the politics of this situation," and let Usyk do what he's doing, he would have been well within his right. He didn't think twice, people. He went in there, and the rest is history. Yeah, AJ, he wanted it. And I just pray and hope that he can put all the facets of the game together now as he's been implying he's done. Yeah, the Wallin fight, the Ngannou fight, for me, imply we may be getting a complete thing here. Yeah, Fury was looking good at one point, but he just can't string. Once the bell goes, Fury knows how to turn up. Fury doesn't, so far at least. We'll find out in the Usyk fights, but Fury is the biggest clown and the biggest joke outside of the ring. But once he gets in the ring, in a big fight, he turns up. Vlad, Wilder, he turns up. He ducks Vlad in the rematch and he tries to duck Wilder and whatever else outside of the ring. But once he's signed to a big fight and he then gets in the ring, which he may not do, people, he may duck Usyk. And I don't respect him for that. The fact that even at this point, for me, it's 50-50. Will Fury make it to the ring? I don't know. That's sad. And that's why I respect AJ, because we've never had to sit here and wonder, oh, in fact, AJ's never pulled out. There was some speculation before that AJ Ruiz won fight that AJ wasn't right. There was something wrong. Maybe he'd been concussed in sparring. We didn't hear nothing about it. No pullouts, no rearrangements. He got in there. Now, AJ's, when the bell goes, is AJ as committed? Not so much. So far, at least. When the bell goes and he ends up in a hard fight, which is natural. Does he have that old school legendary style grit? I haven't seen it yet, but I'm hoping these Wallin and the Ngannou fight are implying that he's made a step. However, we are still yet to see AJ with this new mentality in a situation that is losing. He was winning the whole way through Wallin. He was winning the whole way through Ngannou. So far, so good though. It looks like he's the real deal. Completely. The complete package, yeah, is someone who will fight anyone. Like, AJ has it all. The only thing that's missing so far is, can you find a way to win when you're losing? And you have to look back to the Klitschko fight 7 years ago. And I'd argue that it doesn't really count because it was his first shock. And I reported on it after that fight, after the Vlad fight. AJ said to McCracken, I know now, I need more skills. Teach me how to not be in a situation like that again. Which is the wrong way of looking at things, in my opinion. Yeah, he should be saying, listen, I love going there. Who was it? I think it was it Wardley? Obviously, Fabio Wardley himself hasn't been massively tested, but still the spirit of which, and in all due respect, AJ had that spirit against Dillian White. Dillian White half tested him, and he came through that. But then again, he was never losing the Dillian White fight. But then again, neither was Fabio Wardley ever losing a fight. So, but to give you a reference, Fabio Wardley said to Fraser Clark, he said, listen, I love going to war. Yeah. I find peace there. It's peaceful for me having a fight with someone. And really, when you've watched Fabio Wardley get popped in his mouth, he want to fight. Is it the smartest thing to do? Probably not. But I'd love to see Fabio Wardley have the fight beat out of him. If that makes sense. A man who just want to keep fighting. Keep trying to find a way to win. And that's why I respect Errol Spence. Because whatever you say about Spence, yeah, he was still trying to fight, to be fair to him. Even when he was knocked down a whole bunch of times, he got up and came storming forward trying to fight some more. Was it the... Listen. Did he win the fight? No. Did he get schooled? Yes. But Errol Spence can look back and say, I made it to Valhalla, bottom line. I made it to Warriors Heaven. I was smoked and I was still trying to fight. Very few can say that. Look at Carrot Top. Yeah, when Carrot Top was being schooled by Bivol, he weren't trying to fight nothing. He trying to survive. Yeah? He weren't trying to crash out. Errol Spence, we know he liked to drive cars super quick. He loved crash out. He loved it there. He loved doing it. Yeah? Errol Spence, he'd be off the drink, he'd be off the Henny, and he'd be crashing cars out, and he'd be crashing out the same way in the ring. That's what it looked like to me. I'm not sure. What was more devastating? The way Errol Spence got flung out of that Ferrari when he was white girl wasted off the Henny, or the way he crashed out against Terence Crawford. Both were, fair play to him, man. Both were 100 mile an hour. He come running straight forward, winging them wide shots, and Crawford, boop, just popped him right on his chops. But I respect that. Yeah? And that's what I believe. If AJ had applied that to Usyk, he'd have won the fight. If he'd applied that, I ain't losing this one. I'm going out on my back. bottom line. I'm winning this fight or I'm going out on my back. If he applies that, I don't see anyone stopping him. If AJ can apply that sublime level of calm that he's shown in the Wallin fight and the Ngannou fight because it's unlikely to be that easy, people. Yeah, we can all hope and dream. I hope that AJ blows Usyk's back out and blows Fury's back out, but the chances are at least one of them is going to show something. At least one of them are going to have AJ in a situation where he's down on his luck. Yeah? And hence, what do you do in that situation? Do you do a Carrot Top? Do you do a Canelo where you say, ooh, let me try and lose on points and then celebrate like I won? Goofball. Carrot Top a goofball. Yeah, he got whooped by Bivol and then try to put his jump on the ropes and celebrate like he did something. Trying to literally. And that's why I don't rate Canelo as a man. No man can lose like he did against Bivol. And then Canelo was thinking, the judges that I've got in the pocket, they may have won me this fight, so let me pretend I've won so I can say, no, I won the fight. He was actually, if Canelo had got that fight on the cards, he'd have taken it. And that's shocking. You know when you've lost. Bow your head and say nothing if you're not sure. Don't be doing all the celebrating, trying to... I don't rate that at all. That's not a real man. Yeah? Or at least fight. Yeah, if Carrot Top had a fight with Bivol, at least he got something to celebrate about. Hey, you know what? I've probably lost this fight, but I fought hard. If Canelo fought hard against Bivol, yeah, and then jumped on the ropes, I'd say, well... Yeah, you know what? Yeah, he made a fight about it. He tried his best, so if he wants to celebrate like he's won, that's fine. But to be as pathetic as Carrot Top was, bear in mind he's the big bully fighter, right? Canelo loved bullying people. So to see a bully on the ropes, waving people in and doing nothing, and then to celebrate is weak. I don't rate that at all. That was weak. That was conniving of him. So you have a choice. Who do you want to be? Do you want to be Errol Spence or do you want to be Carrot Top? Carrot Top's like a rat almost. If he can nick your fight, if he could have nicked the Bivol fight on points, he'd have done that. He'd have had no shame. He wouldn't have said, you know what, I shouldn't have won that fight, which is what everyone else saw. The odds at the time, I was watching them live, the odds had gone to, by the end of the fight, the odds were like 5-1 against Carrot Top. So everyone knew it. Everyone knew he lost that fight, but he won it. He was celebrating like he won people. That is cringe. Yeah? Errol Spence, obviously, he got nothing to celebrate about, but he can celebrate his journey to Valhalla, people. A journey seldom travelled by individuals in this day and age. Very rare. How many people want to go there? Not many. Dubois don't, that's for sure. Dubois don't. Carrot Top don't. There's a whole bag of people don't. AJ, he needs to do that for himself, I believe. Yeah? And to be quite frank, as I've said, I believe if AJ applies that... Look at Lawrence Okoli. Look at this dude here. Another one. In that Chris Billum fight, when Okoli let his hands go, he was dangerous. Instead, he acted like a victim. Yeah, shocking. Trying to hug dudes some more. Pathetic people. He does not make it to Valhalla with his no chin having ass. He a bum slayer. He like beating bums up. Okoli looked good against, but even then he hugging the bums too. He does not make it. This is the quality of man in today's era. I'm not saying I'd make it there, but one thing I do know I'd do is be honest. Yeah, if I went into a fight and my back end fell out and I didn't want to fight, you'd never see me jump on the ropes. I'd put my hands in the air and said, you saw it. We all ain't blind. I didn't want to fight, dude. That's why I couldn't lie to you. There's no way, yeah, someone could get the better of me, like Bivol had the better of Carrot Top. And then me being there trying to, let me see if I can nick a win, I'll take it. Nah, that could never be me. I'd say, listen, man, you saw it, he on my ass. I didn't want to squabble with him. I'm the bully. I'll be honest, I'll be like, listen, truth is, I like bullying people, yeah? I like punching people up who can't fight back. But when I'm in there with a real fight, I don't really want to know. As you saw, you guys, you saw me in there. You saw me in there backing up, big Mexican style, backing up and hanging on the ropes. Yeah, you ain't blind. I don't want to insult the public's intelligence. We all saw what we saw. We saw Carrot Top, the big Mexican pressure fighter, going backwards and looking silly on the ropes, all sorry for himself, about to cry at points. Nothing to celebrate. Yeah. So, listen. AJ's really about it. He will fight anyone. I want to see him fight anyone and then fight anyone. When that bell goes, I want to see AJ fight. Fight as if his life was on the line. Yeah, or his child's life was on the line. That's the kind of passion I'm looking for. Fight until you got no more fight in you. And then fight some more. Until you meet your destiny, whatever that may be. And I believe if AJ does that, I think his destiny will be bright. I think with that kind of courage and that kind of tenacity, I don't see anyone standing up to it. Yeah? But, as we've seen, maybe you're a hater. I'm just telling you the facts. The facts are, people, AJ without that tenacity loses. Yeah? He didn't have that tenacity against Usyk, and he lost. And if he goes in there again, politicking, thinking he can think his way through the Usyk fight, I mean, again, I still think AJ's got a better chance of beating Usyk with Ben Davidson, but it's not a certainty. Yeah? I'd still, even if we knew AJ weren't going to fight too hard, I'd still have him probably winning with this new Ben Davison shtick. But then again, these big loading up with the right hand, it's not going to work like that against Usyk. It's not. We know that. You can't just plant your lead leg and lean right over and bang the right hand with Usyk. It looks good against Mbongo. It ain't going to work like that with Usyk. He's going to be peppering your face and not letting you get your work off. AJ was second guessing himself, which is part of the thing I'm trying to explain to you. If you're second guessing yourself because you've got someone flip-flapping in your face, it's no good. If you get discouraged after losing some rounds, if you get tired and start playing the victim, oh, I'm too big to beat Usyk, oh, I got tired. You can't be doing that. Yeah? You have to go into these situations and say, listen, or be thinking this way, as tired as I may be, yeah, I'm going to make sure the other guy, he more tired. I'm going to be on his little ass. Yeah? However tired I'm feeling, he going to be feeling worse. That has to be the mindset. Not the victim. And if you believe he's not as tired as you are, you best beat some tiredness into him. That's the fight game, right? That's what it is. You can directly... boxing isn't like other sports. Other sports, you can't directly impact someone else. You have no control, really. If someone's genetically better or whatever, you're just cooked. Nothing you can do. Boxing's a complete different situation. You can actually directly impact your opponent. So there's really no excuse when you're someone like AJ, who's gifted. The only reason you can lose is if you don't want to win. That's how I feel with AJ. The only reason he lost to you is because he didn't... No, listen, all the AJ sucker offers, you can sit there and lie to yourself. But no one can watch them two fights and tell me that was a man there who was desperate to win, who was dying to win, who refused to lose. Not one. None of you man can sit there and say that. Show me where. Show me where you saw AJ refusing to lose. I saw a man who submitted to the 175 pounder. And that's not how you should go about business when the bell goes. And I'm hoping, if anyone can, clearly, all these other trainers came in, Derek James, all these new hot trainers came in, Robert Garcia, and they ain't do nothing. So I've got good hopes with Ben Davison. There's been a literal shift. This isn't an incremental change. Some people watched the Derek James improvements and said, oh, there's an incremental change, which there may have been. This is not incremental. What we've saw with Wallin and Ngannou is not, this is leaps, this is leagues. AJ's arguably looking better than he ever has, using his brain. We haven't seen, even when you look at, most people say that AJ's best fight was Dillian White. Even then though, he didn't have he wasn't calm against Dillian. He was letting his big ass hands go, which he should do in all fights in my opinion, but it wasn't a refined aggression. It was just all out. With Ben, it's like calm chaos. That calm chaos combined with a refusal to lose, a desperation to win. No one beats him. That's my position. But there are question marks, and we won't see them question marks played out, I don't believe. I think AJ can get away with doing what he did against Wallin. I think AJ will do similar to Hrgovic as he did to Wallin. Zhang's already beat Hrgovic in my opinion. Hrgovic is quite stiff and quite up and down. AJ will do to Hrgovic the same way. It will be Fury and or Usyk. That's when I believe AJ will have to show something. We'll have to show some courage. We'll have to show some, not just courage. Oh, but YB, AJ got up in the Ruiz 1 fight. That's courage. I'm not talking about passive courage. Being put down and remaining conscious and then getting up. Does it take courage? Not really. You're conscious. You got to get up really, unless you want to be a quitter. No one's saying AJ's a quitter as such. He quit on himself though, that's for sure. AJ did not double down on himself. He quit on himself. He denied his own destiny, in my opinion, in that Ruiz fight. Both of them. So we're not talking that kind of passive courage. Things that you should really okay, I've been knocked down, I'm still conscious, yeah, I can't get up. That's passive courage. Anyone can really do that. Active courage is, I've been put down, I'm going to get up now and fight. That's an active thing to do. Yeah? Being knocked down, remaining conscious, and then deciding to backpedal, that's not active courage, that's passive courage. Active courage is, I have to say it, like Fury and Wilder 1. You get knocked spark out almost, you get up and go on to have your best round. You're actively deciding to do something about your fate. AJ hasn't shown that yet, and I hope he does. And if he does, no one beats him, I believe. That's the only thing missing. And right, everyone's got something missing. That's what AJ's got missing, and he may have regained that. We won't know though until the Usyk and Fury fight, or Fury fight. But it will be a sight to behold, and that is what's missing from AJ's career. If I'm honest, us seeing some spitefulness, some from behind spitefulness. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, and let off the bell. 100%, no doubt. Oh. That's a bit annoying, ain't gonna lie.